All right, let's dive right into this tactical breakdown. If you've spent any time cruising the streets of Los Santos, you definitely know the feeling. A mission executes exactly as the developers intended. The story plays out, massive set pieces explode, and, well, you're pretty much just along for the ride. But today, we're not playing by the rules. We're looking at a highly specific tactical exploit derived straight from the core mechanics of Grand Theft Auto V, and we're going to dissect exactly how you can rewrite the game's rules.
So can Michael's boat actually be saved from being stolen? Look, we all know this iconic mission. You're supposed to lose the boat. The script demands it. The narrative literally forces it down your throat. It's the catalyst for so much of the early game's drama. But as players who really want to push the game's mechanics to the absolute limit, we gotta ask, is that destiny inescapable? Today, we're treating this predetermined event not as an inevitability, but as a tactical problem. It's a giant puzzle, and we're going to completely dismantle and solve it together right now.
Phase 1 of the operation. Target: saving Michael's boat. Our primary directive here is to alter the mission's destined outcome. See, we aren't just trying to speedrun a level, we are intentionally trying to break the game's intended script and bend that underlying code completely to our will. There's a real thrill in snatching control away from the narrative, right? This is all about taking back ownership of Michael's prized possession. Especially when the universe of GTA 5 is aggressively telling you, no way, you absolutely cannot do this. I mean, it sounds impossible. The game is hard-coded for that boat to speed away on the back of a truck while you're left chasing it. But the data we're breaking down today proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is completely possible to reverse this scripted theft. Now, to pull off a heist against the game's own programming, you can't just wing it. You can't just go in guns blazing. It requires a very specific, perfectly timed methodology.
Which brings us to Phase 2, the Franklin car maneuver.
Okay, this is where the tactical rubber meets the road. Pay close attention because the margin for error here is razor thin. Imagine we're running this live, right? We're in the mission, the scenario is actively unfolding, and we're about to step way outside the boundaries of the code to hijack the game's logic. Precision in these 4 steps is absolutely crucial. Step 1. Wait for the exact moment Franklin steps in front of the car. Timing is your absolute trigger here. Step 2. Hit the car, but only slightly, just a little tap. We want to force a reaction animation from the AI, basically tricking the game's state machine without causing a massive wreck. Step 3. Immediately get out and physically pull Franklin down from the vehicle. And finally, Step 4. Get right back in the car yourself. It's a rapid-fire 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence. Tap, exit, pull, enter. If you hesitate even for a second, the game's standard script will catch up to you and completely override the glitch we're trying to create.
Once you're securely back in the driver's seat, your sole objective is to just follow the truck. Take a breath here, let the adrenaline settle down a bit. You've executed the setup maneuver perfectly. And now we shift directly into the high-stakes chase phase. You're trailing the truck carrying the boat, but because of that highly specific disruption you just caused with Franklin, the game's physics engine and its scripting triggers are now locked in this quiet behind-the-scenes conflict with each other. Just stay on that truck's tail and watch what happens.
Moving into the final phase. The final truck takedown.
All right, your perfectly timed sequence with Franklin is about to pay off right here. Keep your eyes locked on the road ahead because the results of this tactical trick are going to unfold in real time, completely shattering what the developers intended for this high-speed chase. Because of the glitch we forced earlier, after a short while of following, the truck literally separates. The front cab just breaks away, and the rear part carrying the boat stops completely dead in its tracks. The scripted high-octane chase just dies right there on the highway. And to prove your total tactical victory, the game's code completely gives up. You can physically climb right up on top of Michael's boat as it sits dead on the asphalt. The game simply doesn't know what to do with you at this point. And, just to rub it in, you can even stand up there and throw rockets at it. You have officially achieved total dominance over the mission script.
So what does this all mean? Well, it brings us to a really fascinating conclusion and a pretty big question. What other scripted missions can you break? By just analyzing the mechanics and forcing a tiny, precise disruption, like tapping a car and pulling a character down, we completely unraveled a supposedly mandatory sequence. It really makes you realize that video game worlds, no matter how tightly coded they seem on the surface, are basically just playgrounds of physics and overlapping logic waiting to be cracked. So what you should take away from this isn't just the satisfaction of saving a virtual boat, but a completely new lens through which to view digital constraints. Next time you play, don't just follow the instructions. Look for the cracks in the code. I wonder what you're going to dismantle next.